Hello, you're all very welcome to the Love Life podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Patrick. Welcome to episode 9. And
this week we discuss chemistry and how sometimes it can work when you don't have chemistry at the start. We also had a little bit of feedback on when something starts off as a one-night stand or something casual, it can turn into a relationship, which I found interesting.
yeah, we also had a question about the Me Too movement, which turned into a big impassioned rant by me.
Yeah.
What else? We talked about the whole condoms thing again, and asking inappropriate questions on dates.
Yeah.
So, and then we go back into our roleplay
And tip of the week. So enjoy this episode. Give us your feedback. Anna O'Connor26 Love Life Podcast on Instagram. And I am
McLaughlin. Yeah. So go listen to the previous 8 if this is your first one, because we can't be arsed doing catch-ups anymore.
Right. Enjoy. Have a great week.
Thank you and good night.
Hello, Patrick.
Hi, Anna. Welcome to episode 9.
Thank you. Is it episode 9? I seem to get a shock every time.
So, yeah, we've met at 9 episodes. 10 is a milestone, so we can...
We're still best of friends, aren't we?
Oh, besties.
Yeah.
Evermore.
He wakes me up in the morning with phone calls.
That was just today, and it wasn't the morning, it was the afternoon.
Shh.
Yeah.
I go to bed quite late, in fairness. My
yeah,
job.
you were gigging last night, weren't you?
Yeah, where was I? I was in Reardon's in Cork, so that's a great spot. You know Cork well.
I do, I love Cork.
Yeah, great night. How was your week? Did you have any fashion shows or any openings of...
Christ, I don't know, did I? No, we only recorded the last one a couple of days ago, so I've just been doing my real job. Which is why I'm dressed like this. I didn't just get all dolled up for this podcast. I
wakes up in the morning like this.
He doesn't. Well, I am nominated for
Don't ruin the magic for me.
High Magazine's most stylish man. So I think I have to live up to that now.
You have to live up. Well, you absolutely do.
Thank you.
Deserve the nomination.
But no, I came from work, which I work for a life and pensions company. So if anyone needs life and pensions.
At the moment, he rang me this morning to say, have you rang the bank yet? I said, I feel like I have a husband and I haven't rang the bank.
So, do you have any feedback? I've gotten some topics that listeners have sent in.
So I had a little bit of feedback this week, which was nice. We were touching on, well, I suppose it was feedback, I'm not sure if it was from last week, from a few episodes ago, about like stresses of when you're waiting on text messages and seeing someone at the start and the anxiety that people get. Like, would you call it relationship and anxiety? You're not in a relationship, but I have experienced this before as well, that you're stressed if you don't know where you stand with someone. He was actually saying to me, it's like between date 1 and 4, you don't know where you stand, you don't know what you're not in motion yet. And he was just kind of saying he really feels it's very hard between date 1 and 4. What do you reckon, or do you ever get?
Yeah, I suppose I can relate to that.
Any tips on dealing with anxiety when you're dating at the start?
Oh, what kind of anxiety are we talking
Like just
about?
Stress, like.
Like you seem to kind of have a better without.
Yeah, but you're a counsellor. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, you know, I have in the past got anxiety.
You freak out about
freak
replies
out.
and the delays and messages. So tell me about that.
Yeah, well, he was kind of basically saying, he doesn't know he'd be stressed. Maybe I won't text her. Maybe I will text her if he didn't get a text back. But his...
So what's it like for you to find out that guys experience that too?
It was very good to find out that guys experience that too. So girls out there, if you do suffer with a little bit of anxiety at the start, like, it shouldn't be too bad. Like, if it's too bad, you probably need to cut it. But it's nice to hear that guys do too, and that they find it quite stressful as well. They're afraid. He was saying to me, he's afraid to come on too strong himself. If it's fine. Patrick's busy man is but no, the phone is buzzing, we're only slagging each other. But what he said to me, what he found the best way to deal with it was he's into exercise, so he would, instead of looking at his phone, he'd just go do a bit of exercise, keep himself busy, and then try and just not focus on it too much. So he's found that has helped a lot. But what about, have you any tips? Or you don't ever really suffer from that?
Seems like an extreme case. Oh, I do.
Do you?
Everyone
Oh,
does.
I didn't know if you did or not.
Oh God, I'm not that so far gone that like you do, of course you do, but like we know everyone plays their own little games and stuff like that, but it sounds like if you have that level of anxiety going on about it, then you probably do need to have a look at things, because like that seems kind of extreme. That seems like there's some self-esteem issues.
Really?
Yeah, it does. I mean, like, you're like,
when you're actually
why do you need to get that reply so quickly, so badly? Like, I mean, what's going on for you there? Why does that, like, that person could be up a mountain, you know what I mean? But why are you staring at those ticks so intently? Like, what's going on for you that you need that gratification? You need that.
Me?
No, not you. Not you. The general you. Do you know what I mean? That's probably maybe something.
I do think it's fairly normal, though. I'm going to be honest. Like, I've never heard
it described as anxiety before.
Have you not?
No.
Well, I have, and I have girlfriends that get it. You know, that are very stressed about it, and that they just find it very tough at the start. You know, and they'd be even leave their phone at home and go for a run or something, like that bad.
Waiting for a reply.
Are waiting to hear from someone. Yeah.
Oh, that, you know.
Yeah, like very normal girls with nice jobs and nice lives, but they just find it very stressful. Just going to be honest, because that's what we do here. Like, yeah. Yeah,
no, that's true. I've never experienced it myself, not to that level. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would send a message and then I'd come back and look if, like, it's been seen or that person's been online or whatever. But, like, I kind of, if they've looked at it and, like, I kind of know, they're fucking trying to, you know.
Would you be thinking they're trying to play a game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I would. Yeah, and look, in most cases I'd imagine they'd be right.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't get sucked into it, but then I'm coming from a different kind of level of...
I'd kind of say to someone, if they were feeling that way a little bit, just kind of get on with your life. I've said this before, go out, enjoy your exercise or whatever you like doing, and focus on your own self and your own home and your own hobbies. Yeah. So that was interesting to get feedback from me, from a guy who gets like that.
Yeah.
Because I told you and
loads
some of my girlfriends get like that.
I have friends who get like that too.
Yeah.
I won't name anyone because I know he listens. But like I had a friend and like he was seeing a girl and stuff like that, and she was kind of half ghosting, half breadcrumbing him a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And we were trying to say, like, you know, calm the fuck down. Don't rise to it. Don't like freak out. Don't send her a big angry message. I think I've had those conversations with someone else in the past.
Yeah.
And like, but of course he did. He's like, what's wrong? It's such a big thing. What's wrong with you? Why are you ignoring me? Why won't you reply to my message and all this thing? And like, she replied a while later, everything's okay, babe, just busy at work, kiss. And he looked at it, he goes, what the fuck does that mean?
So he's never happy.
She's busy.
And he's actually quite lucky in that situation that she didn't come back with, whoa, like, that she didn't just go, oh God, this guy is not
in her
for
mind.
Me. That would, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you do, like, God, resist the temptation to send that big freak out message. Don't give in to your anxiety, you know, and like, you know, it like, what's your thing?
If they want you, wild horses won't stop them.
That's the thing. Exactly. If they don't see them, they're playing all those bullshit games, and well, then maybe you're better off. Like, there's always going to be a little bit of games, but it's like, it's a flirtatious thing too. Sometimes,
it should be nice,
you know. But like, if it's excessive, like I said, like, if there's a difference between playing hard to get and being a dick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when it's clear that the person is just a dick.
Yeah. Cut it.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. I love that saying. Boom. So that actually, when you're saying about the text that he sent, that kind of brings me on to my tip of the week. I know it's quite early for that, but my tip of the week would be to bow out gracefully. But it just when you're saying about that text message, what I mean by bow out gracefully would be, so say we're seeing each other, okay, and we're 1 date in, 5 dates in, 10 dates in, whatever it is, but you decide in your head this isn't working for you, you don't want to see me again, you know, you're just not that into me, which can happen, unfortunately, right? So you're not that into me, and you text me and you say, hey Anna, I'm doing a little bit of thinking, this just isn't for me, I had a nice time, whatever. A lot of people's reactions would be, well, fuck him anyway, 100%. And how dare he?
Because it's a rejection, and it's a rejection of you and you as a person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like,
so our automatic reaction is negative. You know, it's like, well, I didn't want to see you again either. My tip of the week would be bow out gracefully, because I spoke to someone lately. I'm always speaking about dating. Jeez, I need to get another hobby. But basically, this was a person that she was seeing a guy. He called it off with her after a few dates. He wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was bad timing. Doesn't matter what it was. He didn't want to see her again. Fair enough. And she just texts back, no problem at all. I really enjoyed seeing you. Had a great time. I'm a little bit bruised, but sure, I'll get over it. And lo and behold, they bumped into each other 5 months later, at a party, had a great night, and ended up seeing each other again and ended up in a relationship. But if she had, you know, come back with a very negative text message, this is what I got from it was, you know, you just never know down the road if this person is a good person and you're a good person, just because they're not that into you. If you bow out gracefully, have some class, then you never know down the road, it could all work out. They're now in a relationship. So she didn't throw all her toys out the pram and say, well, fuck you, block him, and, you know, block him off WhatsApp, block him off Instagram. You know, girls do that, our guys, because they get rejected.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it's okay if they're not that into you. It's tough, but be very nice in your reply, I think, because you just never know.
I agree with you to a point.
Okay.
I agree with you, bow out gracefully, don't have the angry reaction, but not because, just in case you might get together in future.
No, that's just not why, but I just felt like that was a little bit eye-opening for me.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying, but just, I wouldn't have the last bit as the caveat, as that, you never know, you might hook up in the future or whatever. Well, fuck that. Just
but isn't it nicer?
Have respect for yourself.
Have respect for yourself, and that they would actually have more respect for you. And you know what? You could even be mates, and you might come across them again, even in business or in work, or who knows. But it's just, there's nothing gained from bowing out negatively.
No, there's not. The angry reaction, the big long fuck you text message.
There's nothing gained.
It feels good for 10 seconds, but then you regret it, and then like you said, you've irreparably damaged that. You might end up working with the person.
You never know, and
you might end up working for the person.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my tip of the week: bow out gracefully,
I
girls
agree with that.
and boys. Yeah.
Okay.
I had another message this week to the Love Life Instagram. Obviously I won't be naming the person or anything like that, but I thought it was lovely because we've spoke here about dating people with children. We've also spoke about you know, some people are just in it for fun or to have sex, and that's totally cool too if everybody's clear on that. Can I read this out?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Hi there. Love the podcast. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm not actually dating at the minute, but I wanted to share my experience because it ticks a few boxes of the things covered in previous podcasts. I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years. We met on Tinder, and it was originally just a no-strings hookup. So this goes back to what me and you were talking about last week. Don't overthink. I was kind of saying, I want to know where I stand. I want to know what he wants. And you said, no, Anna. Just enjoy the date.
Yes, I actually got some feedback to say, tell Anna never ask that question from a woman. So go on.
Yeah. So never ask, where's this going to?
No.
So I'm with my girlfriend for 2 years. We met on Tinder, and it was originally just for no strings hookup. She was recently separated and has 2 children. It continued from there, and we got on really, really well. And eventually we actually ended up as a couple. And now we plan on moving in together in the new year. Obviously, with 2 young kids, it did create some questions and put limitations on what we could and couldn't do. But the advice I'd give people, and this worked for us, was taking things really, really slow with the kids. They were aware of me for a while before I met them, and then my exposure to them was gradual and slow, and now we get on great. So I suppose to anyone thinking it's too much baggage, or even though they really like the person... Sorry, it's just the way it's written. Even though they really like the person, I'd say take it slow, and it can work. And sometimes one-night stands or short-term hookups can turn into long-term relationships. They're going to move into
I love that. Yeah, thank you for sending that. I don't know who you are. I haven't seen it myself, but I think that's tremendous.
Yeah, and it really shows that you're right, as in, like, you can just have a short-term thing that can turn into something long-term, and vice versa. You know, you never know.
You just reminded me of something there.
Yeah, go.
About when you just said I was right. Someone has I sent it on to you just in case people had Kira, he thought I was hiding from it, a TED talk that backed up what you were saying about the love hormone and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, and then I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. I'm still on the. To be honest, deep down, I did say you were right because I was told by a psychologist you were right. This is what we're talking about: is the love hormone that's released in a woman that makes them feel more in love. And the men's testosterone actually lowers, so they feel less in love after you have sex. That this was the argument. I'm not saying I'm right or that this is.
I'm not saying I'm right anymore either.
Yeah.
But there's too many variables that it doesn't account for.
Genuinely, I feel myself, in general, knowing lots of girls, and I do feel that we do get a little bit more emotionally attached than guys after sex. But this is not everybody, you know. But that TED Talk was interesting because it actually confirmed that. Whether or not there's probably another TED Talk that says
no. Look, I suppose, but that was just a woman on a stage talking.
Yes,
I don't know.
I'm
not an expert on biology or chemicals in the brain or anything like that. But again, I come back to the question: what about women who just like having sex with loads of men? What if the sex is terrible? You know, and like not all guys I don't think, are less in love after sex. Some of them would be a lot more in love after sex and feel a lot more connected to the person after sex. I just think it's a little bit too one size fits all for me.
Yeah, okay, and we don't want to be like that here. No. We want to have a kind of a general view on things as well. But
thank you for sending that to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Person who sent that to me.
I enjoyed that.
I won't name you.
Have you anything else?
I have loads actually. Yeah, because I got stuff sent.
I'll let you take the mic for a second.
Thank you. One second now. So I sent it to you today. One night stands. Have either of you felt obligated to make it more than a one night stand? And how has it changed your view of the opposite sex? I.e., do either of you think less of the men or women for having them? And is it worth it? Okay.
Do you want to answer it first, or shall I?
Okay, so have I ever felt obligated to make it more than a one night stand? No, I haven't.
Good question.
I haven't, to be honest, but I will tell you this. I have regretted that I didn't with someone. As in, I had a one night stand with someone and I really liked them, but I didn't really, I thought that for them it was just a one night stand, so I suppose I treated it like it was just a one night stand, but I really, really liked them. And never pursued them. Like we were great friends now. But I did ask her, like, if I had have asked you out, would you have said yes? She's like, absolutely. But now she's like, she has a situation, so she can't and stuff like that. So I regret that, and I know she listens too. So so I wish I had have felt obligated to pursue that one night stand, but I didn't.
Why didn't you?
I didn't think she was interested.
You were afraid of rejection then, isn't that it?
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing.
So that's my story. What about you?
I definitely wouldn't have a bad view on a guy for having a one night stand.
And I would never judge a girl for having a one night stand either. And but that, unfortunately, I don't think is the case for all guys.
No, I think guys would judge girls more for a one night stand than girls would judge guys.
Probably.
I think there's a view out there that any guy would have a one night stand. You know, that they're mad for it. And that's not really fair, but it kind of is what us girls feel, that we're the ones that have
the general consensus is that, but there's I was having a discussion with you. Now, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but someone said it, and it was actually a girl said, like, you know, why is it that if a girl goes and have low one night stands with guys that she's a slut, whereas if a guy does it with a load of girls he's a stud? And it was actually a girl who said it, that there's no such thing as a fat ugly stud. What do you think about that? Now, I'm not saying that's right, but I just, like, it stuck in my mind because I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, any girl can be a slut. Essentially, what she was saying, not what I was saying, so don't send me the hate tweets. What she was saying is any girl can be a slut. But to be a stud you have to be at least charming, somewhat good looking, and be able to chat to women. Because, like,
you can't get it.
What do you think of that? Because this is going to lead on to another conversation that we're going to have in a minute. But what do you think of that statement? That wasn't mine statement, by the way. And it was a girl who said it.
You might use the word stud. If you said stud to me, I'd think of a tall, handsome, good-looking guy that's charming. Yes, that's what would come into my mind.
Okay.
But like...
So can you have a fat, ugly stud?
No. But in my mind... Oh, that's mean. In my mind, no. I wouldn't think of someone... I do... Like...
I've stumped you here. Say what you really feel. Go on.
I really feel that it wouldn't...
criticised, then fuck it.
No, you can't have a fat, ugly stud.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in my mind anyway, but... Oh God, that's mean. Yeah.
It is kind of mean. Now, I think you possibly can have a fat, ugly stud.
If he was charming enough.
If he was charming or rich.
Oh, it's true.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, we're going to move on. There's the fourth question here is an interesting one. But, or maybe the third question. Hang on. So, okay, next one. So I would not judge a girl for having a one night stand, as I don't think anyone should. I know some people do, but like for fuck's sake, it's 2018, and if a girl wants to have sex, then she should.
Oh
have
fuck
sex.
it, definitely. Like if you're not if you want to, but I've said this before. If you like someone, like if you have feelings for them, I wouldn't be sleeping with them on the first date. If you would really feel like you'd like it to go somewhere, I just take it a bit slower. Because sometimes guys have this view that, oh, if she sleeps with me in the first night, she'll sleep with anyone. They shouldn't,
it's
but
wrong,
they do,
yeah.
So, but 100% certainly, if you feel like having a one-night stand, just once you practice safe sex, go ahead and enjoy it. Everybody has...
Since you said that, now I'm going to skip ahead here because there was another bit of feedback on the condoms thing.
Oh yes.
When we were talking about the condoms, right?
Yeah.
Someone thought that we made out that it's embarrassing for a woman to have condoms in her room, and that's very backward.
Very backward, yes. Yeah.
It is. I completely agree with that. I think women should have condoms in the room. I think men should have condoms in their room. I think everyone should practice safe sex.
Everyone go out and buy condoms. Really? No.
But and it is childish and backward for a guy to think, oh, she has condoms in her fucking drawer. Like, she must be an awful fucking goer. That, like, you know what I mean? No, that's not what the guy should be thinking. And, like, that's kind of, it was that I suggested that was the way guys think, but they shouldn't. But, like, sorry. I've had those conversations with guys.
Look, we're always going to be honest here, I suppose.
Exactly.
And that's where we run into problems.
But you shouldn't think like that. She doesn't want to get pregnant. She doesn't want to get sexually transmitted disease. Yeah. Like, she's clever. You know what I mean?
I would honestly recommend, if you're, like, I've been in this situation before. When I've started dating someone, like, as in properly... decided to go into a relationship with someone, I have said straight out to someone, right, let's both go and get tested to make sure that we're both have no STIs.
Okay.
Like, and I would totally recommend that for anyone, because as I said before, anyone can have an STI. So at least, especially if you're entering into a relationship with someone and you're not going to use condoms, and maybe you know, you have your own protection, or you want to have kids or whatever, you have to look after your health. So it's a great idea. There's places in Limerick here do, like...
Absolutely.
Do it, I think it's like 80 or 90 euro. It's actually free if you want. I know you can get it done for free.
There's
But there is places you can get, like, you go in and on the day you get your results for whatever 80 euro. And they do a couple for, like, a deal. I don't know the name of the place.
I volunteered in Gosh. And like, you could walk into Gosh and anonymously pick up free condoms.
Where's Gosh?
It's up near the train station in Limerick.
Okay, get into Gosh, girls and guys.
Anybody, you know what I mean? It just like, they're free. You don't even have to go if you're mortified of going into the Tesco and like, boop,
that's
the
amazing.
condoms past the thing. You can go in and get free condoms in Gosh. And I volunteered in Gosh. It's an absolutely fantastic organisation. So,
but there's nothing wrong with a girl.
There's no stigma for a girl having bloody well condoms in
and there's no stigma for you wanting to make sure that you both have no STIs. No. I mean, it's just being clever. Your health is as important. Your whole body. You have to look after that.
So it is a backwards, immature point of view to like think that a woman is promiscuous or like, that basically promiscuous by the fact that she has condoms in her drawer. But like, and I'm sorry, I like, because as I said, like you said it too. I'm always going to be honest on this thing, right? I'm not going to say what I should say because then you're like not being genuine. I think people will be able to tell that. So like I was drawing on conversations that I've had with guys when I said like that, but it is wrong. It is backward. So
I think if you own it, girls, and you're confident with yourself, like at this stage of my life, I definitely would be, and I'd have no problem having my own condoms. It's just, you know what, if they have a problem with that, is that the kind of person you actually see yourself with, Look after your own sexual health.
The next one. I've had guys ask me on a first date why I don't have kids at my age.
Okay, so is this girl in her 30s, 40s, 20s?
I think 40s.
40s, okay.
And what's wrong that I didn't have kids? All of my friends have kids except me, and they think this is a normal question. Is this a normal question for men to ask women?
I don't know, is it?
Absolutely not. Oh my God, that's a terrible question to ask, I think. I would never ask a woman that. But I have been like around cases of like women who've had fertility problems, who've had IVF, who've gone through all of that. I completely understand the mental health stress and like the all of this, the stress and stuff that comes with fertility and IVF and all that kind of stuff. So like no one should ask a woman, why did you not have kids? That is such an insensitive question. But then I'm coming from a place of knowledge and self-awareness. Not everyone should.
Or maybe if you're just wondering, do they, like, a better way to put it would be,
I don't think there is a better way to put it, Anna. It can be a very hurt. What if like they can't have kids, and what if they were trying for years? Like, that's a dangerous question to ask, I think. Until you get to know the person better.
When you get to know someone and you're kind of seeing them or in a relationship, you could say something like, I'm just trying to think, would you ever have liked to have kids in the past? Or, would you like kids in the future? That is a nicer way to put it than why don't you have kids,
Well, why would you be asking that on a first date?
No, on a first date, definitely not. Sorry.
Or second date. Or
no. Obviously, when you get to know someone, you can ask
exactly. That's a very intimate question that could be very a very sensitive thing for people. Like, so I would not ask that, and I don't think it's right or normal for a guy to ask that of a woman. But again, I'm coming from a place of knowledge and experience, so like not every guy might realize that or think that, and just might stupidly wade in and say, "So why do you not have kids?"
I think on a date, if someone asks you something that you have to ask us, then say, "Is this right? Isn't it right?" If you don't feel it's right and you're uncomfortable with it, I think, would it be okay to say, "Listen, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that question," on a first date? If someone asks,
flip it. What if you're on a date with a guy in his, let's say, late 30s, early 40s, and you're mad to ask, why are you still single? Would you ask?
No.
Or why did you never get married, or why did you never have kids?
I might say something like, well, have you ever been married in the past?
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
On a first date, though?
Yeah.
Really?
Not in just you're getting to know someone a little bit. I'd say, have you, I'd say, have you ever been married in the past? Yeah.
Really?
Or have you, I don't know, if it came up, like, if it...
That's the thing, if it came up,
like,
but I almost would be afraid to ask. I would wait for the person to volunteer the information.
Yeah,
so they probably don't know what you're poking at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, some people just want to know everything. And
maybe I'm a poker.
Yeah, I just again, this is like the whole, my fucking empathy thing and my counsellor head and all that sort of stuff is like...
So sit back.
Not even sit back, just like, let people talk, and like, if they want to tell you something, they'll tell you, but like... So what's the story? Like, why don't you have kids? Or why are you still single and you're at your age? That sort of thing. Like that. Imagine being on the other end of it.
Yeah.
No, fuck no.
No.
Chill the fuck out, people, and don't ask questions like, why do you never have kids?
Yeah, no, that's not normal and it's unacceptable. So just tell them, listen, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that question, and then just grab your coat and bag while they're going to the loo.
Exactly.
Run out the front door. Exactly.
Okay. And finally, this is an interesting one. Getting back to the innuendo discussion.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the Me Too movement? And where is the line between flirting, banter, and inappropriate behaviour?
Well, what do you think? I
will say, okay, I actually had a fantastic discussion about this with someone today. Not the person who asked the question. Okay, so I worked in a place where like there was what I would describe as a serial sexual harasser.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting. It was vile. Like there was a kind of a middle-aged man who would like make inappropriate comments to young girls and even ask them out on dates and stuff like that. And it was horrible. And like when he'd say something, I would just turn and walk away from the conversation.
Okay.
And like his behavior was one of the reasons why I left that job. So, and I think it's absolutely disgusting, and any person who is like experiencing that, I think they should speak up, because I don't think it's acceptable.
No.
And I don't think it's acceptable if the company turns a blind eye to it, or the company tries to protect the person who's doing it. Like, and I've seen it, I've been around it, it's horrible. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my straight out answer on that. But then, as I got into this discussion with the other person, there's all kinds of little kind of...
And on the flip side, you did say you worked with somebody very, very handsome and charming that used sexual innuendo all the time, and the girls all thought it was hilarious.
Exactly.
So, just because your man was middle-aged and overweight...
But, okay, so it begs... I never said he was overweight.
Oh, sorry, I touched it.
His weight doesn't come into it. I don't know where that came from. No, but I suppose then again, I've worked with people. I've had like romances with people I've worked with and stuff like that, and we would have been flirting together and like so. But like, I don't want to say like, oh,
the line is where you're uncomfortable.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The line is where the advances are unwanted, of course.
Yeah.
But the Me Too movement, I think it's great that people spoke up, because like these people felt oppressed and felt that the men were so powerful that they couldn't talk about it and they were afraid.
Yeah.
And I suppose that like when you talk to girls about rape culture and stuff like that, that's where they're coming from. They feel kind of vulnerable going on nights out, because like they want to dress like fashionably and they want to wear like, you know, nice dresses and stuff like that. They feel then like the guys feel they have a license to like say whatever they want or act however they want and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And girls are kind of afraid to speak up about it, because there's a kind of an idea that sure, boys will be boys and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's going though, isn't it? That
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's just
I don't want to talk about the Paddy Jackson case because I don't want to get a fucking summons.
Yeah.
But I remember the day that the Paddy Jackson verdict was delivered, I put up like a very angry stream of messages on social media, because first of all, I was seeing all these reactions, extreme reactions, but it was being like some guys were treating it like as a victory for lad culture over feminism, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah.
Right? And I was also, on the day that verdict came out, in a work training environment, and there was a man there who was delighted that the girl had lost, and he said this, he's like, sure, if that girl went out dressed half naked, she had it coming to her, and if she walked down a dark alleyway and I was down that dark alleyway, she'd have got it. And I actually got so angry that I had to leave the room. Well, I had to be asked to leave the room because I got into a fight with this guy.
Are you serious?
Like, but that's the thing, there fucking are people out there who think like that.
Yeah.
That was so distressing to realise, like, that it wasn't just, you know, like, lads, God almighty, I talk to my friends, I'm on WhatsApp groups, lads will say things to be big men and stuff like that, but to discover someone talking like that, deadly serious, believing that like if a girl goes out dressed in a skimpy dress, that she's putting her hand out for it, that it's not just something funny to say, there's actually belief there.
There's belief.
Like someone actually thinks like that. That was fucking frightening.
Scary.
That and the shit that was being put on Twitter like just got me so angry that I put up stuff about like have some fucking cop on. If this was your sister, how would you feel about your sister being treated like this? All this kind of stuff. And one of my best friends said, "You're some fucking dickhead." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Yeah, you're just pandering to women putting that shit up." And we had a big fucking argument about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was not pandering to anybody.
Yeah.
I
can see how
strong opinions about it. Because I've been around it. I've seen a girl who's a very good friend of mine getting sexually harassed. It was horrible. Do you know? And like a very good friend of mine, as recently as last week, told me she was being sexually harassed at work. Do you know what I mean? It's awful.
And
it's awful. But there's all these other little arguments as well. For instance, like, and this is one a guy will make, and I actually agree with this, and the girl I was talking to today agreed with this too. If a girl makes false allegations against a guy, and she admits that they're false, or they're proven to be false, there should be some recourse. It shouldn't be just the allegations go away and that's the end of it. If you,
she should be in trouble then.
And it does fucking happen, unfortunately. That girls use that as a like an act of revenge or whatever to make up false allegations about a guy. Now she might decide, okay, I'm going to drop it, and even admit, okay, I was lying, type of thing.
Yeah.
But what then? Like, the guy's name is essentially ruined. That's not right either.
Yeah.
But the other side of the argument is then, like, girls then feel that they can come forward about actual acts because they don't think they'll be taken seriously or people won't believe them.
Yeah.
So there's all these kind of different, like, arguments
different
and stuff like that.
And different.
And like another thing was like, I don't
think sexual innuendo should be used in work at all.
But then you see, if you like, here's another point that we had in this discussion today. Like the Me Too movement, I don't know, is it just like Me Too movement? Essentially, like women in Hollywood and women in the world speaking up against sexual harassment by oppressive male people, right? But like, men get sexually harassed too. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But and like I can tell you, I get a lot of attention from men and women and stuff like that. As a man, I feel you just have to kind of go, oh yeah, that's gas, yeah, thanks a million, cheers. Yeah. Because if you say like, excuse me, don't talk to me like that, that's sexual harassment. People will just look at you like, you fucking... I
actually know a guy, one night he was in a nightclub. This is awful. But a girl came into the nightclub. She came over to him and he was wearing like loose kind of trouser pants. Yeah. She came over to him and she stuck her hand down her trousers, grabbed him by the balls. And he actually said to me, and then I don't know what she said to him or whatever, but she kind of half knew him. But he was absolutely disgusted, obviously. This was just, but he had to turn around then and just, the lads were making like fun of this, and he really felt like it was like, man up. Like there was nothing he could do about that because that was a girl that did it to him. That's what he felt. You know, and he felt he had to be the man, but he said after he was very affected by it, like, did affect him.
This is the thing. Yeah. And like, I completely empathise with that situation. Like, so it does happen. Because if he made a big deal out of it, everyone would be like, look, Jesus, you should be lucky that a girl wants to like grab you and stuff like that. Yeah. Where it's completely different if it's a man doing it to a woman. Or even a gay person. Yeah. And like, I again, working in somewhere, I was bent over a desk one day and like a gay colleague who I actually really like, he's a good guy, so I'm not shaming him either. Yeah. He's just, and I think he's funny. But I was bent over a desk, he made a comment to a group of women, Jesus, you'd have to dig me out of that. Everyone laughed. I didn't give a fuck. Genuinely, I didn't give a fuck. But someone said to me afterwards, imagine that was a girl bent over the desk and you said to the lads, you'd have to dig me out of that. You're getting fired, we're all getting fired. But if you had made an issue out of that, everyone would be like, you fucking cop on, he's only having a crack.
It needs to be the same rule for everybody.
But if it is then, are we living in a homogenized state where nobody can say anything funny? So like, there's all...
Yeah, because we even have banter. We do,
yeah. But that's the thing, can nobody say anything to anybody? So like, there's all these kind of questions that are very hard to answer.
Very hard to answer, but it was nice to bring it up.
I have just done a 20-minute rant here. You haven't said anything. What's your opinion on all this?
I just feel like I do feel in work that sexual innuendo just shouldn't be there. That's my opinion. Man, woman, gay, straight, doesn't matter. I just feel like in your workplace, even if you're very friendly, I wouldn't do it. Because different people have different levels of what they are comfortable with, and like, I'm not comfortable myself with certain kinds of sexual innuendo. Others, I am, but someone else mightn't be. So I think the best thing, in my opinion, is just none in institute. But like you're saying, then you can have a bit of crack.
But do you get that? Take that point.
Yeah,
I'd love to know. Like, I'd love more people to talk to us about this and see what people think.
Yeah,
because like
feedback on this. Yeah,
there's two extremes. I think, like, in fairness, the easy answer here is if you're a guy or you're a girl and there's someone that you're working with or someone in your life that is making you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, then that's the issue. If you're not uncomfortable and if you actually think it's funny and you're having a bit of crack, that's a different story. Yeah. But if someone, their advances or their comments or their questions make you feel uncomfortable and you feel they're inappropriate, then either talk to them about it, and if they persist or they like start bullying you or something like that, then talk to someone in a place of power. And I hope to God that person takes it seriously and acts accordingly, because I think that's an issue too, is that it gets kind of swept under the rug and like, oh God, that was just misconstrued or whatever. Like, it's a real fucking thing, and like this Me Too movement should have taught us that it's a real thing and that we shouldn't still be turning a blind eye to it.
No, we're all too afraid to speak up. Like I said earlier about that question, the girl being asked why she didn't have kids. If you're uncomfortable with any question or any sexual innuendo or anything like that, say it. You know, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Just say, not in a cross way, or you know, you can just say, I'm uncomfortable with that. Yeah. And sometimes that's all it takes, and it might stop. You know? Okay. That's what I think anyway. Be straight.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of feel like, and you asked me before we started, but like, did I want to talk about this? And I said no, but I do feel like maybe there's like a little bit of a negative tone
today.
Yeah. And like today is a bad day for me.
Yeah.
Today is the 6-month anniversary of my father's passing. So, like, if you're listening to this and you think Patrick's in a really bad mood, I didn't have a fight with Anna, and it's nothing to do with Anna. It's nothing to do with the questions I'm being said.
Sad for you, Patrick.
I think I'm just not, like, when I said we'd record this today, I didn't realise the actual date of it. So, like, if I'm coming off as a little bit short or a little bit angry or whatever, like, that's what it is. I'm actually not angry or sharp at all. Me and Anna aren't having a fight.
No, I'm going to cry for Patrick because I care about him so much.
It's a tough day. It's a horrible day, but like
there is people out there that have these days as well. So I think they'll be glad to hear that they're not on their own, Patrick.
I have lovely friends and I have a very loving family, and we've all been they've all been extremely helpful to me today. So, but like, it is just a tough day. And there'll be days like this, as I said. Christmas is going to be fucking awful. Yeah. But this is life, and you have to get through it. So I apologise if anyone is kind of picking up on a little bit of a negative tone from me in this episode.
I feel in both of us,
that's what's going on.
Yeah, so we don't want to be too happy-go-lucky today because we don't feel happy-go-lucky.
No, but I want to get through this as best I can.
Yeah.
But like,
we've said it before, we are ourselves.
I even feel like talking about those couple of questions that like it was kind of something coming out of me there. Yeah. And I don't think it was passionate about the questions. I think it was just where I am at on this particular day. So I'm sorry if that is coming out.
I really like that in this podcast that we can be ourselves. So, you know, we're not always having a good day. Sometimes we have great crack.
I'm having incredibly bad day today.
Yeah.
I feel like someone has been pushing their boot down on my chest all day today. Yeah. But I'm aware of it and I'm prepared to talk about it. So like,
I'm glad you are, because I know that everybody has tough days. That's a very, very tough day now.
Yeah.
But there's people out there having a bad day, even listening to this now. Sorry. But we all have them, and I think it's good for everybody to know that it's not just, you're not on your own. Everyone has bad days, and lots of people
I know that
listening have probably...
I get so many lovely, kind messages from people today that actually touch my heart. Yeah. And like people I've never met in my life, complete strangers, just said such nice things. And like, it does actually restore your faith in humanity to know like that people like actually see realise the day that's in it and take the time to send you something nice and like even just thinking of you in love hearts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's very nice, and there are some very, very good people out there. Yeah. So like if you are looking for love, don't lose faith, because there are good people.
Oh, lovely, Patrick. That's so nice. Give me a little squeeze, you poor pet.
Anyway. So where are we? Okay, we got about 10 minutes left.
Is that all? Yeah. We keep like not getting to our role play that everyone loves. Role play. Where were we last week? Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Actually?
You have a big list of shit.
I have a list of shit. Sure, we can talk about them next week as well. I got a little bit of chemistry feedback before we go any further.
Go for it.
Because we had a conversation here last week's podcast, and we both agreed that if the chemistry isn't there at the start, drop the mic, as our Pat would say.
I got feedback about that too.
Mm-hmm. So my feedback was from a girl that at the start was not very sure at all, didn't have the chemistry, even didn't have the sex, not really. And now they have it all. Like, they're not going out yet, but they are way more connected. They took it really slow. Mm-hmm. They're just having a great time and really enjoying it, and the chemistry is there now.
And the feedback that I got was the opposite of that.
Okay.
It was someone like that people who don't have the chemistry in the beginning, like the relationships always end in disaster, and like
we'll see.
People have like if you don't fancy them at the start, then you might get together with them, but you're settling, and you'll always have your eye out for something better.
Okay, and they could be very right too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's just when we get feedback, I like to kind of
me too.
Bring it up. Yeah.
What else?
I think that we might go. We can talk about that next week maybe. We've only a few minutes. We might go into.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So the role play. I'm not doing a recap because like, if you haven't listened to the previous 8 episodes, like don't start at episode 9. Go back and listen. They're actually quite good.
I'll do a quick recap, okay?
Okay.
So every week, myself and Patrick, just so you know, myself and Patrick do a role play, and in this role play, we went on a date. We got on really, really, really well, but then I didn't hear from Patrick.
You're skipping a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, I'm just giving a quick recap. Didn't hear from Patrick for a long time in this role play, which didn't really happen. I met up with another guy. I had sex with another guy. Now we are back to dating, seeing each other. We slept together, and now Patrick is going to go back to college to study. He's going to be a broke-ass student, but I had to choose between, in my own head, the other guy I slept with was a very wealthy property developer, but I was asked
to pick. He's a bit of a player, that fella.
It was, would I go with the rich property developer that I didn't have that much chemistry with, or would I go with the broke-ass student that I had loads of chemistry with? I picked Patrick. I'm now, would you say dating Patrick? Are we dating? Not really.
We're still seeing each other.
We're still seeing each other.
Actually, just a question came into my head there. No, of course, this isn't real life. This is a role play. But by the TED Talk logic and sheknows.com logic, should you not be in love with Kieran?
Well, because we had sex.
Yeah.
Kieran is...
And you didn't have sex
with me. Rich property developer from Galway. Kieran is the Galway player.
Kieran, so by that logic... Kieran has moved on, fucked you off, grand, he's not in love, but should you not be in love with Kieran because he had sex?
Yeah, but the psychologist told me that was wrong. And
but
when you like someone, you like someone.
Fine, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, now we have had sex, me and you, in the role play. We've had a couple of dates. We're getting on quite well, but your ex has now come back on the scene. She messaged you. She wants to meet you for coffee. You've agreed. I told Patrick last week, I think the best thing to do would be not tell me that.
Not going to tell you.
That would be quite stressful for me, and it would create a problem in the relationship if it develops into a relationship. I probably always have a problem with his ex, even though there may not be any need. So no, that's where we were.
Right, so I'm going to meet Mary, my ex, for coffee. Because Mary has messaged me. She sent me a lovely message. What I thought was a lovely message, just saying like she had heard that I'm making this decision to give up my job. She knows me. She was with me for a long time, so she knows like I was never really happy in that job. So she's very saying she's delighted to hear that I'd made the decision to like go do something I love, and it, like that message, I suppose, warmed my heart and like meant a lot for me. She was like my, what did we say, 3.5-year ex and stuff.
Yeah.
And to get that endorsement for her, because like I was thinking about this in this scenario, Mary broke up with me.
Oh.
Right? And I was a little bit crushed by that. Mary heard that I had cheated on her. Okay. I didn't. Mary heard that I did.
Okay.
And Mary, I protested my innocence, and I told Mary I didn't cheat on her, but Mary believed that I did.
Okay.
So Mary ended the relationship, and I always felt a little bit of injustice.
Hard done by.
Hard done by. She wouldn't talk to me, and like I told her I didn't do it, and I didn't do it, but she always thought that I did. Right. So, and that's why Mary like unfollowed me and all that kind of stuff, because she felt that I had fucked someone else. Right.
Okay.
Well, I didn't. So now that's why, let's say that happened 1.5 years ago. And now Mary starts following me again. Mary has me a friend again. And then Mary sends me this lovely long message, like saying how proud I am of her. So, yes, I'm going to meet Mary.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell me, yeah.
So I meet Mary, and we sit down, and we have the chats, and like it's a little bit awkward and a little bit tense in the beginning, because we're just kind of feeling each other out. But then obviously I ask questions about people in her life and etc and stuff like that. We talk about, I'll tell you what. So I ask, how's Mary's sister? And Mary has a reaction. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is like you're listening to something.
Yeah, I'm engrossed in the story.
Yeah, I know, I was coming up with this earlier. And I ask, well, what's the story? And it's like, she tells me that 1.5 years ago, the person who told her that I had cheated on her was her sister.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, why would she do that? And Mary tells me that a couple of months ago, her sister admitted that she lied. So now Mary knows that I'm in the clear.
Oh.
So all that tension dissipates.
And Mary's like, well, we both loved each other and I dumped you.
Well, she's not going to lay that on me
straight
away.
Yeah.
But you're in trouble.
I'm in big trouble because
this is the thing. I have stuff to think about. So Mary tells me that she has since found out that I actually was innocent, that her sister made the whole thing up, and she's had a massive falling out with her sister over it and stuff. So like, I'm getting all this news. I've finally been cleared. I'm innocent. Mary knows that I'm innocent. But I'm not straight away going, let's get back together. Because I have to stand back now. So I say, well, okay, I'm like kind of reacting to it, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, it's terrible that you're falling out with your sister. Do you have any idea why she said that? She said, no, I don't have to talk to her, whatever. So I suppose my first thing is that maybe you should talk to your sister, right? I'm not saying, Mary, we should get back together.
No,
Mary's not saying, Mary, we should get back together. But there's a different dynamic in the air now. Yeah. So me and Mary hug, and like I said, great to catch up. But I'm going away thinking like...
Yeah. There's a whole new can of worms have opened up in your mind. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in this conversation, Mary actually does ask, "Are you with anyone at the moment?"
Oh, right? Yeah. And what would you say in this situation?
In this situation, I'm going to say yes, but I have lots of different motives for saying yes. Right? I'm seeing you, but we have even said that we don't consider ourselves as dating. We haven't had the chat. But I don't want Mary to think that I've just been fucking single for the last 1.5 years waiting for her to come back.
Yeah, you're really proud. I know what you mean. You're like, I have someone.
Yes, yeah, I have someone. Because technically I do, even though we're not really a thing yet. But I do have you.
Okay.
But I also don't want Mary to think that, like, I'm just fucking here. And I asked Mary, are you going out with anyone at the moment? And she's like, well, I was seeing a guy but didn't really like go anywhere. I didn't really like him.
Okay.
Right. So I've told Mary that I'm with someone, but Mary told me that she's single.
And I feel like if I was Mary, I'd be like, right then, that's Patrick ruled out.
Wait, actually, there's a good one. Put yourself in Mary's shoes.
Yeah. If I was Mary, I'd be like, okay, just keep going with life. Patrick has someone now. That's what I'd think. If someone tells me they're with someone.
Because some girls would like not give a fuck whether I'm with someone. They want me back, or they want that guy back. So like, they're not going to give up that easy. Okay. Because you wouldn't have any inclination of that at all.
No, I'd feel very much like, oh, Patrick's happy now, and I'm happy for him. and I'd feel sad myself, but like,
okay, so we're gonna go away from go away from this. Me and Mary,
yeah,
we're gonna go away from this. We're gonna like so that information. I know Mary's single. I know Mary now knows that I'm innocent. And like Mary was my 3.5-year true love, whatever. I like Anna.
Yeah.
Okay. Mary's going away thinking like I was wrong about him, and like, but he's seeing someone. So like, in Mary's case, should Mary just leave it and walk away, or should Mary like send me a message the next day saying it was so great to see you yesterday?
Well, if I was Mary, I'd leave it and walk away.
Okay.
But I'd be interested to see what I hear from you again now that you know you're in the clear.
And I don't know.
I would still, if I was Mary,
I've used this shield of saying like, I'm seeing someone, like, to say to Mary, first of all, like, yeah, I'm not waiting for fucking your call type of thing, and you can't just click your fingers and I'm not running back to you. But at the same time, I do like you, Anna.
Yeah.
So like, I suppose that's also a big factor.
Yeah.
I'm after meeting someone who I really, really like, right?
These are the things that go on. This is why we're talking about it. Yeah.
I'm after meeting someone that I really, really like. Okay?
Yeah.
And like, there's a connection, and it's like the first time since Mary,
you've had a bit of a connection.
That I've met someone.
We've a lot deeper going on with Mary, like.
I have 3.5 years with Mary. Yeah. So, but I'm after meeting you.
Yeah.
And you're the first person I've met since Mary that I felt that connection with.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm leaving that coffee with a lot to fucking think about, aren't I?
Yeah, you are, absolutely. Yeah. Is Anna coming into this equation at all this week?
I'm not going to text Anna for a day because I have to do some thinking.
Oh yeah, okay.
You got angry straight away.
No, a day is not so bad.
At this stage, we're at the point where like all that kind of shit has gone out of the way.
And we're texting all the time, like.
Yeah.
So I get a bit of a land now.
Well, you're not going to get a land. You're going to text me like
You're
something.
not going to text me back.
I might just take back lol or something like that. You just made the angry face.
That makes me cuss, yeah.
Why?
It's just a bit fobbing me off or something.
Yeah.
You don't text back lol or...
Well, if you sent me like a meme, which you do routinely, and I send them to you too, you just sent back
I would send back
the laughing emoji.
You. Yeah.
Would you be thinking about it, or would it matter?
I might send you another text later then.
Yeah.
To check in, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. If I just got an emoji back. You faker.
I'm not being a faker.
No, you're not. These are the real things.
I'm trying to, I was thinking about this and like trying to make this as kind of complicated as possible. Just to make it
it's to find out all these different...
Away.
Yeah, this isn't one relationship. This is probably
a building is going to fall on
things.
either of us, and like we're not going to have a long last cousin showing up or anything like that. But we're like, we're trying to incorporate all the little things that do happen. This is a modern day love story with all the shit that happens.
Yeah.
I think we're going to leave it there. So I have to go away and think about it.
Yeah.
Do I this wonderful girl that I'm after meeting?
Yeah.
Who this is the first time since Mary that I've had a connection with someone. And as far as I know, everything is fine. I don't know about the Kieran thing.
Yeah.
Or Mary now knows that I was innocent and Mary's single. Should I text Mary and say, Mary, do you want to go for a drink? So we should do a poll. Although everyone's going to be on Team Anna because Mary's not even.
Mary doesn't exist. We might bring Mary in next week.
Let's try and get a Mary.
Let's get a Mary. We're going to probably have a guest next week, and we'll call her Mary. Okay.
Oh, we have to get a Mary. This is great.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much, Patrick. And
are we shaking hands?
We shall see you all next week. Rate and review if you can on iTunes, and if you can rate and review on anything else too. And give us your
listening,
feedback.
keep watching, keep downloading.
Follow us on Love Life Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Anna O'Connor 26.
I am with love.
Yeah. And mind yourself. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Head up. Take care.
Get some condoms.
You.
Bye bye.